Morning folks. Well, have we got some stuff to share with you guys. But before we go into that, we'll probably have to wait till morning before we start sharing some of that stuff, because we haven't put anything up for a while. We are at a hip camp about an hour out of Brisbane, or an hour away from home. Cool little track down. It's a bit of a secret. We've got a new camper trailer. It's probably just behind my head so you can't see it, but we gave it a bit of a test driving some pretty steep tracks that we didn't imagine we'd be doing on this particular trip. Nevertheless, handled it well, but yeah, just got the fire started. It's a bit late in the arvo. A couple of us had a shower, but I think we'll fill you in tomorrow morning. I don't know. Excited to share the stuff and show you what's been happening. Yeah, and we'll talk more in the morning. All right, folks. Talk to you later. Yeah.
Cheers, Mel.
Morning, folks. So, as I probably let the cat out of the bag last night, we finally made the push to change out our camper trailer. So last time we did a major trip, that was the Croombit Tops trip.
Croombit Tops.
I'd pretty much cracked it and went, I've had enough of this. And that was more about, stuff on the ground with the soft floor clamper, just the ease of setup and pack up and all that sort of stuff. So we have gone ahead and we have bought a Jayco Swan Outback. So a lot more plush, a lot more less to set up.
It's a bit of a caravan.
Yeah, the kids don't like it saying that it's a caravan. They like to think of it as a camper trailer. Because it's still got canvas. Toby says, still got canvas. It's still a camper trailer, Dad, but it's not really.
It's pretty comfy.
It's pretty comfy. It's so the reasons why we went down the Swan Road, like everyone does, they look around the campsites that they go to and think about different options and different things. We obviously wanted something that was still reasonably small and compact, so we could get it into some of these places that you can't drag a full caravan in. So we wanted something that folds up pretty small, obviously has the bedding for the kids and for them to be comfortable too. That's obviously important. But also we have restrictions on where we can put it at home. We only have a small place, and so a full-size caravan obviously wouldn't work in that particular instance. And lastly, and like everyone else, is there's budget. You can't, we don't have the finances to buy a whopping big caravan, even though it'd be nice. But yeah, so Jayco Outback Swan is what we ended up going for. So it's a 2016 model.
Just a second hand. Yeah,
second handy. We paid the going rate, which was, a bit under 30k. Still not particularly cheap, but, for what it comes with, we certainly can't argue. So it's got, stoves inside. It's got a gas 3-way fridge, hot water systems, big gas bottles, comfy beds, a lot of people say there's not much storage, but it's the storage is pretty good. You just need to be a bit more organised and do things differently.
It's got the outdoor shower, did you say that?
Yeah, outdoor shower.
So hot shower outdoors, which I'm enjoying.
Yep. Yeah, and that's kind of about it. We did have concerns about where we could potentially bring it, but when we got here to this hip camp, so it's not too far away from Arachula, and Arachula is about an hour's or so's worth drive out of Brizzy, or from home anyway. It was pretty crazy taking this thing out here. There is a really big steep entrance. Nothing completely stupid, but
But the guy from the property, he didn't seem worried about us bringing this up at all. So no. He drove us to the campsite, or led us out to the campsite. And if it had have been just us,
we probably
would have turned around.
The other thing too is that this is our third trip out. So we've done a couple of nights at another hip camp earlier on, and then we did a bit of a longer trip out to Arachula, which
we'll put up soon.
We'd put up soon as well. Just around the waterfall way there. And the one at Arachula was just a caravan park. So we haven't really taken this on dirt roads or anything, and the plan was to slowly ease us in it. But yeah, as Jen said, the guy yesterday afternoon, he sort of goes, "Oh, how heavy are you?" And I went, "Oh, I don't know, 2 ton." He goes, "Oh, you'll be right." And I wonder if he does that to everyone, because then we got round the corner and he says, oh, you'll need to put it in low range. I went, oh, okay, dump it in low range. It's going to be a bit steep. But it was a track. It was a track out here.
It was a full drive track.
Yeah. But having said that, it was no dramas at all. And it just gives you more confidence to go, oh, we can drag this thing into places that, you know, you wouldn't think you'd be able to get in. We spun the wheels a little bit going up the hill. So it was a kind of a pretty steep, rutted out track to get to the top. A couple of tight turns between trees. But overall, it really wasn't a problem behind the cruiser. What else have we got to say? Other things that have been going on around the trap. So yeah, we haven't put anything up for quite a while. And that was sort of a combination of just being flat chat. Like I'm sure you guys get to that point where you just flat chat with everything school, and done a bit of work on the truck. I messed around a bit, and I'll show some bit of footage of that too. One of the last trips that we did, I landed pretty heavily on the back tail of the car, and so I built a bar, just a simple bar that goes around the back just to protect that. I didn't want to go all out and put in, you know, a full replacement bar, so this is just a compromise. Still got the spare wheel carrier, still got the standard cruiser bar on the back, and yeah, anyway, you'll see that. I'll show some footage of that as well. Jen's had knee surgery, so that was another reason we haven't done too many trips, because she couldn't walk too far, but she's on the mend now, which is fantastic. And yeah, so hoping from here on in we can get out a bit more often, spend a bit more time on the road, all short trips, because obviously kids at school and all that sort of stuff, so getting away at school breaks. But yeah, that's the plan. All right, I think we'll give you a walk around of the trailer and give you a bit of a look. It's a bit of a shambles in here. So
still haven't worked out how to organise everything yet.
Yeah, and we still got a lot to learn with setting up and packing up as well. We still take a while, to be honest with you. But from what I hear from everyone else, that's a thing that you just learn, and will improve over time anyway. Anyway, we shall. I'll give you a bit of a walk around, and we might also go for a bit of a drive this morning as well. Anyway, stay tuned, folks. It's nice to be back. Nice to be putting a video out again. And yeah, we'll talk soon.
Enjoy.
So excuse the messy campsite, but a couple of extra bits and pieces that we did to it pretty up front straight away was, first of all, we replaced the hitch. It just came with the standard tow hitch. There's positives and negatives with that, I suppose, but for us, I wanted a proper off-road hitch, so we chose the Cruise Master switch. A bit of experience with these before. They're really easy to hook up. Yeah, last camper trailer had a poly block, and they're just dangerous, I reckon, in my opinion, trying to hook those up. So replace that, which obviously came and replaced the handbrake. You'll also see that we put a stone guard on the front. We looked at stone stompers and that sort of stuff. Again, had some experience with stone stompers when Jed and I worked with HEMA. They're really good, but there was a huge waiting list for them, about 6 weeks. So we just ended up opting for just an off-the-shelf product, and that's what it is there. So it's a pretty good. It seems to stop the stones from kicking up. We haven't obviously been off-road that often, but it seems to be doing the job. Comes with some mud flaps and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we did that as well. So this is kind of our setup for shower and toilet facilities. So it's just our old shower tent that we've had for donkey's years. This is an Aldi special, still going strong. The bags had it, but I mean, it still works. I know there's things that you can buy that are more compatible with this, especially with the hose system here on the side where there's openings that you can zip open, but this seems to work for us. So I don't really see any need to replace it. Hot and cold. This here is the hot water system that sits off the side here, the Suburban hot water system, and it's controlled with just a switch inside. Flick the switch, starts pushing out gas and then lights, and yeah, it heats the hot water up, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. It's pretty quick actually. And basically what I do is it's enough for one tank, I suppose, for all of us to have a shower. So generally once it turns off and it's heated the tank, then I just turn the hot water system off, and then might just turn it quickly on just for a bit of hot water for dishes later on. One thing I will say that I'd like to do to it is that once you turn the water on and you adjust your temperature, then you wet yourself down, and then I like to turn it off just to try to save that bit of water. What would be nice if there was a switch on the actual rows, where the water comes out, obviously, just to stop that. And then your settings are all set on your what your switches. Yeah, your settings are all set, and then it's just a matter of pressing that again. I know there's a handset that you can do that with. Over here is the vents for the three-way fridge. The intention with the three-way fridge, it works. People think they're fantastic, and that's fine. But for us, I would like to replace the three-way with a 12-volt fridge. I think that sort of suits our needs better, and with the ability for it to cool down a lot faster. But that's just us. Everyone's different in how they look at that. So with that process, you pull the old fridge out, obviously get rid of the gas line, plug the gas line off, and then that just runs off our house batteries, and I'll show you that in a moment. The camper trailer comes with, I believe, they're two 90-litre tanks, and again, I think that's standard. If you're running a shower, they put two 90-litre tanks. So there's one at the front, obviously, and one at the back. They're shielded underneath. They do have a filler point. That's just here, so back tank, front tank, and you can just plug a hose in if you're in a caravan park, etc, etc. So that kind of works there. There's two breathers here that run back, and I think at the moment the front tank, I think the breather might be blocked, because I'm having issues where it'll suck and go all right for a little while, and then all of a sudden it just can't suck the water through. So I'm thinking that the breather's blocked, maybe at the tank end, or there's something in the actual lines, which I'll need to pull open once I get back home again. So it was an issue before, and when I filled it, I blew water all out here, out of the breather. But yeah, there's something funny going on with that. So basically, the back tank runs as, I switch it over, so there's a switch. Let me just roll over here. And there's a switch underneath here, and that determines where your water comes from, whether it comes from the front tank or the back tank, and you can switch it off. So the front tank's the one that I think's got the issue with the breather, but I just need to play with that a bit more. Independent suspension in the 2016 model, which makes it pretty cool. It's pretty muddy under there because the truck we drove into was quite wet. They had some rain midweek, but yeah, the independent suspension seems to be working quite well as well. Okay, inside. Again, everything pretty standard. Gas stove with a grill. It's a bit messy in here, so excuse the mess. But this is the reality of camping. There's a microwave underneath. The microwave, you need 240 to run that. Could run off the inverter, but I don't think we'll ever do that. But it is handy when you're in a caravan park just to warm something up. The gas grill works really cool, and the cooktop works really well, and we're happy with that and certainly keep that. Here's the three-way fridge on this side. At the moment it's running off gas. You'll see that the selector's on gas and it's running quite nicely. Again, this is something we'll probably remove. There are two types of fridge from my research that we can use to replace this. One of them is the Dometic. Dometic does one where it fits in quite nicely, and then the other one is Bushman, or Bush, I think it's Bushman 130. And they apparently just come out, you slide them in. There's some changes you need to do to the cabinetry to make them fit fully. But yeah, by all accounts, a lot of people are doing that now. That's something that's quite common. Yeah, everything else other than that standard done. Anyone who has one of these things will know that there's some really good online stuff on Facebook where they very active, and they talk about a lot of mods that people do in their vans. I've put in the cupboard here. I've done the whole putting the shelves in, and that's just a Bunnings thing that you pull off. There's other people that have shown stuff online and in YouTube that shows how to go about doing that process. They had some other dodgy system in here, but the shelves keep falling down, so it's more of a permanent solution. That's about it as far as the camper goes. So as far as the setup goes, we're still very slow. People tell us that it's 15-20 minutes setup. For us, it's probably more like 3/4 of an hour to an hour setup. Pack-up's about as slow, to be honest with you, as well. But it comes with time. With everything, you get to know your jobs. Each person have their jobs, so that'll improve over time as well. Happy for people to comment on the ways, if any of you guys out there are using Swans as well, how you set your camper up, how you make your pack up and set up much quicker. Like I said, we're still learning, but we're more than happy to take advice from anyone. So yeah, that's our setup. Too easy. get?
Vanilla cookies flavour.
Vanilla cookies flavour. How about you? What did you get?
A chocolate thick shake.
Was it good?
Very good.
Art of gate opening. They're not as simple as they are always. Toby's getting a pretty good handle on the different gate techniques. Even he's not so good on the ones where they're how do I describe that? Where it's a stick and they tension up with wire. Those ones are a bit more tricky, but these standard ones he's getting pretty good at. So Phil mentioned that there's a couple of, well, I don't know if they're specifically four-wheel drive tracks, but he said there was a track out the back of the campground that we're staying at down along the creek that we could drive up. So it was a pretty cool little drive, not overly difficult, bit of lantana, so you're going to scratch the side of your car. But there's a bit of a lookout up here. If you look across there, you can actually see the Cunningham Gap range where the cars and everything go through, and that there must be Main Range National Park. So there's a lot of walks and stuff up through there. We've always talked about going for a walk through there, but every time we get to the top of the hill up there, there's a big car park, so you can do some of the walks around there. It's always busy, so we just push through, but maybe one time we'll stop there. But it's a beautiful place around here. Just farming land, open country. If you look real carefully, apparently Phil was saying there's actually a waterfall. You can walk up the creek, and I think over there is where the waterfall is. Oh, yeah. And that's the creek that runs down that we're actually camped on further back down there. Where the trailer is. So yeah, nice place, bit tight up here. We'll need to do a 200-point turn to turn around, but yeah, well worth checking out some of these tracks around here as well. So the deal here with the campground here, so where we're staying, over the creek, it's called.
Well,
I don't know if we want to give it away.
No, it's a pretty nice place.
It's pretty good.
So the creek, we're next to the creek.
Oh, goodness me. So essentially they've got, how many campsites? Maybe four or five campsites. They're very separate and by quite a few, I don't know, 50 metres or something like that. So you're kind of on your own, which is really nice.
We had the place to ourselves last night, which was really nice. There's a couple of other people around today.
First, we're about to get wet again.
But it's more of our style sort of camping where you're not, well, you're on your own and you've got your own space, and yeah, you can do your own thing. So where we're camped, there's a fair amount of room, so that the boys could kick a footy or run around and be a goose. Yeah, it's a nice place. We'll go back up the campsite. The boys have had a bit of a play in the creek, and then set up some hammocks and yeah, have a relaxing afternoon.
Nice
I think.
Quiet afternoon.
Yeah, that's the plan anyway.
Swimming in 10-degree water. I don't know what our life courses are, but we do it anyway. climb over this.
Yeah, Billy's not going to make it over that, kiddo.
Well, then we go around. Lion.
I'd say you probably want to change sides.
You don't want to go in there. Look at
What are you doing at the moment?
Rock hopping.
Rock hopping. Is that any good?
Yes, it's good.
Are you wearing your shoes?
No.
No. Should you be wearing your shoes?
No.
No. Oh, okay. Over the creek, Hip Camp. I think it was $30 a night, wasn't it?
I think so.
$30. I think Hip Camp puts a couple of extra dollars on it as a sort of admin fee, but
We paid $60 for the weekend.
$60?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There you go. $60
For the weekend.
for the weekend. So that's 2 nights, 2 adults, 2 kids, and a dog. What are your thoughts?
It's very pretty.
It is very pretty.
It wasn't. I can't really say it.
Yes, you can. No, keep going.
Oh, last night we had the place to ourselves, which was really nice. So there are other people camping here, and there's a fair distance between us, but you can kind of hear other people around, and I just preferred having it to ourselves.
Yeah,
They're not bad. Like, it's not bad, but
no, but we like just camping by ourselves. I'm wondering whether the drive-in also limits, because you can't really get in unless you've got at least a reasonable 4-wheel drive to get in here. Although we did see someone coming, looks like an all-wheel drive, but I think they hit a rock coming over the creek here this afternoon pretty hard, but it kind of limits who can come in as well. So beautiful camp spot, I reckon.
it's very pretty. The kids have had a great time playing in the creek.
Yeah, they went
There's a
for
big flat grassy area here, so we've kicked the ball around and played
put
a
up
few games.
enough trees to hang a hammock and have a bit of a read, and pretty quiet afternoon. Yeah, I think overall I'd be happy to come back here.
Yeah, I'd come back here.
I think the fact that it's only an hour's drive from home makes it really good too, because you can get here on a Friday, which means that you've got 2 nights and 1 full day, and I think that makes a big difference as well. Yeah, so I just put on a fire. I know, a bit how's your father, but I just put the heater on the hot water so we can have a shower in about half an hour or so, or 15 minutes, which would be nice to finish the day off like that. Bit of tea, and I think we have an early bed. Everyone's actually tired. I think such a busy couple of weeks in the lead up to this, with school and work, and winding up to the end of term for the boys. So, but yeah, I think it'll be an early night. So I suppose we'll see you folks in the morning. We'll go from there. Too easy. Thanks, guys. Just one thing before I sign off for the evening. One thing that's great about Billy, our dog, is he's quite easy to deal with. One of his favourite things to do is just really sit in the back of the car. And so that's what he does. He likes to sit in the back of the car, the tailgate open and everything open, windows open in the back of the cruiser, and he just surveys his kingdom. So it does make it quite easy to bring the dog with. You don't need to worry about him wandering off. He's pretty good, stays up there for most of the time. Sometimes he gets a bit excited if he sees another dog, but overall he's really easy to travel with, so he just sits up there. And that's where he sits when we're actually on the road as well and travelling. So it makes it nice and easy. Anyway, folks, in the morning, we shall talk then. Bye.
Certain amount of wheat.
Yeah, I know, that's why I'm not doing it, bread.
Why not? You can just make a certain amount of wheat and then eat that bread. Or you can find a villager that trades wheat.
None of them trade wheat.
Well, that's sad.
Coffee's on.
Oh, shivers. My hair's a bit of a shambles. Coffee's on, the most important part of the morning. We just got a cheapy one that coffee maker that we got from Woolies, I think. But we've had it for years. It still goes strong and makes a reasonable coffee. Anyway, most important part of the day is done.
Pack up, go okay?
Yeah, still learning lots. A bit warm now in the sun. But yeah, I think the key is just trying to fold it in as much as you can. Let it sit for a while to try to get some of the air, because it gets air trapped in there, and then we'll pull it down. But yeah, how long did that take us?
Half an hour.
Half an hour?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just a learning process. So that's pretty much it. Pack up, drive out, exciting drive out, although I think the drive out will be a bit easier coming down that steep patch, and then home. And then because everything's covered in dust and dirt, it'll need a bit of a wash. But that's alright, it's part of camping. Yeah, certainly a new experience driving with the trailer on the back down something really steep like that, and obviously driving in really steep. But at the end of the day, I think if you just take your time, have good mirrors, that's another thing that I think helps, and some people spotting it, it's not really difficult. Bit surprised on the Jayco that it handled it all, appears to be anyway. Yeah, pretty much it. One little steep bit to go and then drive home, so it's good.